Hey everyone, my name is Jajuan Michael Harley, and it is an honor, it's a privilege to be a part of this great event that Mr. Bobby Hallback has put together. I mean, sir, you really put this together. You talked about it, now you brought it to life. You spoke it to existence, and it's just a privilege to be a part of this. I also want to thank everyone that's on this panel. You know, you guys realize that the purpose is far greater than the individual. And for you to open up and tell your story, tell your journey, how you overcame to become who you are meant to be, is awesome. You know, the purpose of you going through it wasn't punishment. It was for you to learn and teach the next person coming after you. Age doesn't matter if they're younger, if they're older, or the same age. You really done your job. So I commend you. To the audience, I thank you guys for coming because you are wanting to learn how to create the mindset to um, become a success, overcome any trials and tribulations. You are here to develop and find different ways to create that mindset of a winner. And a winner is what you are. So I commend you as well. Unlike those as a part of this panel, I am not retired. I am a current NFL free agent. I play arena ball right now, and we're looking forward to get back into the NFL. So, speaking to the existence, we will begin signed. We will be brought into NFL training camp to a team, and we will achieve what's meant for us. Um, so that's out of the way. I want to start off with introducing my parents because introducing my parents, you will understand the mindset that I was able to develop because of these two wonderful people that molded me to the person I am today. So my mom and dad, Cynthia Harley and Jack Harley. My mom, she's born in Tyson, Florida. She was a high school track star. She held a track record with a twin sister that lasted nearly 30 years. So that's pretty impressive. And also, she overcame a lot of her battles starting as a young kid, been passed around different family members' home. She grew up in a large family, so a lot of siblings were staying together in the same homes. Almost went to foster care, but she was able to graduate high school and have a successful career working with the state and achieving her goal. Her goal was to always have a home to pass to her kids and their kids for generations. So she have done that. My dad, Jack Harley, was born in Miccosukee, Florida, just outside of Tallahassee, Florida. A country boy. At times he didn't have shoes to wear, so he walked barefooted. At 16 years old in 11th grade, he had to get a full-time job to support his family and still be a track star and play different sports. And after high school, he graduated, started a family, and just being a successful person. And he always wished he had that push. So that push that he didn't get, he pushed onto me, as in, you believe, you will achieve. And as simple as those words are, that created a mindset of what I have developed to this day. What motivates me? Well, the answer is survival. And I'm gonna give a little bit more about me as an individual so it could tie into what I mean by survival. So, I am the owner, founder, and creator of my own company, Make Adjustments, Delete Excuses Incorporated, made. I'm also the only professional football player to have signed 12 professional contracts and negotiated with myself. And to be quite frank, that is not something easy to do, but it's all about survival because I never want to give up on myself. No matter how many people gave up on me, I refuse to give up on myself. So I signed National Football League, NFL, Canadian Football League, Indoor Football League, um, National Arena League, Arena Football League, and also got myself into the XFL 2020 supplemental draft. But COVID hit, so that kind of ruined that. I was a college dropout as well, and I went back to school to finish my degree. Um, so many things that I have overcome is because I refuse to give up on myself, and that's because of survival. Think about being in the wilderness or you out in the ocean and you fighting for your life. Just constantly paddling in the water or constantly just trying to find some type of shelter or food in the wilderness. At the end of the day, life is about surviving. Surviving the impossible. Turning impossible and turning to I'm possible. I say that again. You want to survive by turning the impossible to the I'm possible. You are whatever you think you are. If you are sick, you're going to say, I am sick. If you are well, you're going to say, I am well. And this is all a part of being a survivor. All right? So, throughout my life, I'm always getting chosen last. I remember as a kid getting picked last. And I told myself I would never get picked last. And what I did was every time I get a small opportunity, I use that opportunity as a large scale to just show out. I make it a grandstand because my mindset is that for here on out, you will choose me first. My mindset is to show you that no matter what, I am the best. No matter what comes my way, I am going to overachieve it, and I'm going to show you that I am the person or I am the individual that should be at the number one spot. Now, some people may come off and say, hey, that's pretty conceited, but no, it's not. Because when you put the work in, surviving, paddling in the water, out in the wilderness, trying to survive, you build the confidence because of the work ethic. You put in the work, you pay attention to details of life simply because you want to survive. You do not want to fall off to the waistline. And that's the same thing goes on with the sports world. What's keeping me alive with the NFL scouts is because I continue to fight. I continue to show that I am just as good or even better than who you have now. I continue to show that no matter what the obstacle is, you are going to know and recognize who I am. And that's what you must believe in at all times. It's all about continuing, pushing forward, continue to believe that you are number one, not number two. You are number one, and you just continue to push that mentality, push that to the universe, and the universe was push it back to you. Now, a lot of people say, hey, I've done a lot of things. I have walked by faith and not by sight. I have not given up. I have not thrown in the towel, but my dreams or whatever has not opened for me. Well, think about it like this. Let's look at the positive side. Maybe what you thought was for you was open the door for what's really meant for you. But if you don't continue to push forward and just constantly want to survive, constantly want to be that person that you are meant to be, you will never get there. And for instance, let's just say a person wants to be a musician, all right? They record all the time. They write great lyrics. They have great content, but it's just not striking the industry and they're not getting the opportunity that they really believe they deserve. However, a window in the back or a window to the side of the house may be cracked open for you to slide through as someone who writes the music, who produces, who is behind the scenes. So you just never know when you're not giving up on yourself. So when you are out there surviving, constantly paddling in that water, getting to shore, constantly finding shelter in the wilderness, constantly doing what you have to do to stay alive, I guarantee you, you will find yourself right where you are meant to be in life. And this is where I create the mindset. So what motivates me? Survival. Grit and disappointment. They go hand in hand, I promise you. You know, you could just be constantly going hard and with the work ethic and still not getting the results that you are seeking to receive. Oh man, what a heartbreaking feeling. But it's how you respond. Life is about how you respond to the hits. It's a great analogy out there. You know, you get knocked down 9 times, you get up 10. That is true. Grit and disappointments. So to speak on that, uh, my grit comes from my parents. You know, my mother is a breast cancer survivor. She received breast cancer during the time 8 months after my dad passed. My dad passed 2 days before my birthday, and he was an HVAC mechanic. So he inhaled asbestos that was deteriorating his lungs for 17 years. So he constantly was on oxygen. He had survived on oxygen for 17 years. So I learned the grit from them to constantly grind it out and constantly go forward no matter what. So with that being said, leading up to me getting signed to the Buffalo Bills, I was working in the toy department of Walmart. And during this time, I'm writing hand letters to the NFL. I'm writing letters, sending them in through the post office, FedEx with film and whatnot. And while I'm doing that, I'm also in the gym area, the fitness area of Walmart, and I'm lifting weights in there because I'm grinding to stay in shape. Or I go in the back and I get the heavy boxes. I do my squats in the back. I'll sprint up the hill outside during my lunch break. I slept in my car for extra hours. I'm eating sandwiches. Whatever I had to do, I did that to achieve my dreams. And it got me signed to the NFL. That was grit. Then going to camp, 7 on depth chart, not expected to make the team. Go from 7 and work my way up the second screen, fighting for first. Having guys that making millions of dollars asking me questions, and they just knew I was going to be there playing and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, boom, I'm cut. No agent, and I'm just out here. Like, once again, in that water, paddling for survival, out in the wilderness, looking for shelter. I told myself I wouldn't give up. So at that moment, I figured out every NFL team's email address. I said, Buffalo Bills has this email address right here. I could figure out the other 31 teams. And that's what I did. I started figuring out email address, and I'm sending emails. And still to this day, I use those emails to contact teams along with social media. But throughout the whole process, it comes with disappointment. It comes with, I remember before I signed with a CFL team, I had this scout I thought was CFL, Canadian Football League, portrayed as a scout, and had me in a situation almost sending him money for a tryout that really wasn't there. And I just say, okay, this is my opportunity to get some more film. It's my opportunity. But that was a disappointment right there, because I was like, if this guy's going this far to try to stop my dream, I must not be the person to get to that dream and that quote-unquote percentage. But that didn't stop me. I kept going. I didn't realize throughout this whole time of me getting released or teams letting me go or just working hard and not getting a phone call from a team, I didn't realize what really was going on. You could grind hard as you want, but if your circle, those around you, are not meant to be in your life, disappointment's going to happen just because you have to find out the truth about each and every individual that you are with. At the end of the day, you could ask anyone, those that have been at the top, and they'll tell you, when I'm at the top, I don't really know those people. I have leeches. I have those that's not rowing the paddle. They not, as I'm climbing this mountain, they're not rowing the boat up the mountain, because life is all about a mountain. And if you're not rowing with me and helping me get there, they have to go. So a lot of times, with you having grit, disappointment usually come because the wrong people are around you. Always remember, good people can see good things in you, and bad people will see good things in you. You have to know which is right and which is left, all right? Because if you don't, at the end of the day, you will end up repeating things simply because the wrong people are in your circle, and that comes with disappointment. But with disappointment, that doesn't mean failure. That just gives you an opportunity to dust yourself off and continue to go. And that's where disappointment has to rely on the grit. If your disappointment doesn't rely on the grit, you will cancel everything and give up on yourself. You have to constantly believe in yourself, constantly speaking positivity to yourself, and understand that it's going to happen if you continue to believe in yourself. It goes back to that old saying as a little kid that if you believe, you will achieve. As simple as those words are, They are powerful. Just like the words I am are powerful because you are what you believe you are. So no matter what, continue to keep pushing, continue to have faith, continue to put the work in mentally, spiritually, and physically. And everything else will work itself out. You have to have the positivity throughout the negative times because the world is full of negativity. You have to find a way to create your own positivity throughout the entire journey. So grit and disappointment go hand in hand, but it's all about how you respond to it. The valley. Oh man, the valley, the valley. The valley is where you are defined and sharpened and become who you are meant to be. You start developing characteristics that you didn't know was there. Everything about you starts to grow and you become who you are meant to be. To get to that valley, you have to climb this mountain. And when I tell you this story, this is not just something I'm using for a life analogous, like most people do. This is something I actually did in life, but also physically climbed a mountain. And this is why I could tell you more details about it. Now, when you climb this mountain, you see as a challenge, and the challenge everyone say, get to the top. You see everything. You get to, conquer your dreams. It's happy times and whatnot. Just a hooray, right? But to get there, we have to climb. We have to go different areas. We have to touch each rock, each pebble, each step. Everything is calculated. One false movement, and you could be down, tumbling, falling. And that's just like when you are achieving your dream. If you're not paying attention to details, trusting the process, understand that each step matters. Each step means something. Each step is getting you closer to where you want to be. You will falsely take a step thinking that, for instance, this bigger rock right here is where I should step at, and this is where it's going to get me to get to where I want to be faster. But when you climbing that mountain, usually the biggest rock is not sturdy. But that small pebble rock that you probably get a good toe on, your big toe on to get a good lift off to take another step, the one that you have to pay attention to, the details, it's the one that gets you to where you want to be safely, staying on course. Life is all about staying on course, staying focused and disciplined with your steps, your motivation, your ideas, and everything you do is generated to getting to the top of the mountain. Now, as I got into the mountain in life, as I got on the mountain, into the mountain, as a climber, I got to the valley and I got into a hill. It felt so easy because I got up there, had a great view, and I just thought, hey, I made it. I made it. And it felt so great. And to add to that story, that's how I felt when I was with the Buffalo Bills. I got there and I got in that valley and I was on that hill and I was like, I made it. But I didn't realize that hill was just showing me what can be. And in order to get back there, I have to have faith. I have to have the determination, the grit to fight through the disappointments, to get through mentally, physically, and spiritually, to continue to constantly press forward, to pay attention to each pebble the rest of the way because I want to survive. I want to survive to get to where I believe I belong at in this life. So as I'm in the valley, we go down hills in the valley, we going, it's harder. You climbing, you getting poked by cactuses and you getting hit by sticks and rocks are just falling beneath you. The gravel is moving and whatnot and just seem dangerous. And you just say, I want to give up. I want to throw in a towel right now. But that's not the moment when you do that. That's the moment when you tap into yourself and understand that just like a tree, I have greatness in me. In trees, you could tap in and that sap start rolling out, right? Sometimes you have to tap a little deeper in some trees for the sap to roll out. It's just like us. In order to get your greatness, you have to be willing to tap in to yourself to get that inner greatness out. And that's what the valley is. You may be in the valley right now trying to figure things out, trying to understand where to go. But it's only one place to go from here. It's not back. It's up and forward. Constantly moving forward. Each step, one step behind the other. Paying attention to detail. Each step is with faith. Each step is understanding that I'm getting close to where I am meant to be. I am going to break this mold once I come out of here. And once you got that valley, that's when it start getting easy for you. And you can really see your table running over with the blessings and everything that you want to come to life. As for me, speaking from personal experience, I am out my valley and I can see my cup running over. My mind has seen it. My body has seen it. My spirit has seen it. It's all because I kept going through the disappointments, kept fighting, paying attention to detail, kept fighting, believing, kept saying, I am possible. This is not impossible. I am possible. So I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what, you may be in that valley right now, but just know that's where you are going to become who you are meant to be. You are going to build a shield mentally and physically to block any negativity. You are going to create the mindset that you have that greatness that everyone that you have admired has. And you're going to understand that you can do it. You will achieve because you believe. So I want to leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what, if you are just starting your journey on this mountain or you are in the valley of this mountain, continue to keep the focus and discipline to not skip steps, to trust the process, embrace each pebble that's on the grain. Do not hesitate to stop, take a breath, pivot if you have to. Take a few steps back to get your vision right, to order your steps. But no matter what, do not give up on yourself. All right? Always know greatness is within you. You just have to have the mindset of willing to tap in. And no matter how long you have to tap, you just keep tapping and never give up on yourself. I want to thank Mr. Bobby Hallback for this opportunity. I want to thank everyone that's on this panel for bringing the great energy to the audience. And to the audience, I want to thank you for having a listening ear, open mind. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.